Well, Shari Rogge-Fidler, welcome to the 17th Forum for the Future of Agriculture. And I know you are here as President and Chief Executive of the Farm Foundation, but also you are one of the founding members of the GIFP, so the Global Forum on Farm Policy and Innovation. And so you do have a wide view, but let's start with being in Europe, in the seat of the EU in Brussels today. Why is it important for you to be here today?
The core reason I'm here is really to listen and to better understand the European perspective at a time of so much change, and whether it's geopolitics or the economics of agriculture, I just think it's so important to start with that listening. And that's really core to Farm Foundation's mission. Our mission is to build trust and understanding at the intersection of agriculture and society. And to do that, you have to start with listening. Yeah. So I've had so much fun listening and learning today.
Well, I was going to ask, what have you heard? And importantly, what have you learnt so far today?
Well, one surprising thing is about soil health. I have been deeply involved with soil health for probably a decade, and I feel like we've reached sort of a plateau with soil health in the US and also on my own farm. I'm a fifth-generation farm owner and operator. And to hear sort of a rejuvenation or reprioritization around soil health today, I thought was refreshing, to use it as an indicator of sustainability, because we keep looking for those indicators. And to anchor it on soil health, I thought was refreshing. And I am going to take that back to the States and figure out how can we also try to reprioritize that and help rejuvenate that movement, if you will.
And we have the Soil and Land Awards later on,
yes.
And it's the first time it's going to be awarded within the main forum today. So that visibility, that's a really strong message that clearly resonates.
Looking forward to that.
What else has particularly resonated, and what will you say you take home soil health back to the States, what else might you take away from the forum?
Well, one thing I'll take away is maybe overcoming fear. I've been doing a listening tour both in the US and then coming here to Europe. And I think I felt a little more sense of fear at our US forum that I went to. Now, granted, it was earlier in the year. It was in February that I went to a forum. But I think farmers in the US are anxious about some uncertainty around trade tariffs and so forth. And to hear at today's forum kind of facing that squarely and saying, the fear of the geopolitics, but saying there's more to our sector than just the politics, that we can maybe overcome some of that through innovation and the private sector, I thought was, again, really encouraging.
And you've, as the GIFP, you have this wider view. So I know that you have collaborations with Canada, with Australia, from the US and Europe. Do you want to grow the collaboration, because you have your call to action to report, so your voice is getting stronger?
Yes, so when we had a meeting with GIFP, that was another great reason to be here, and thinking through what our next steps are. And we're toying with the idea of playing with the theme of finding common ground in a divided world. And I actually really loved hearing Mike, the astronaut, talk about that and thinking through, well, what could the space station be for agriculture? And I think there is a role for GIFP in bringing and finding that common ground around the globe. So it did renew that idea of we need to find more of those partners, because again, back on the space station, they had so many countries involved that I think we may need to, as GIFP, look at continuing to widen the number of countries involved with us. We've struggled to find that independent science-based organizations like we are, but we still are hopeful that we'll keep looking for them.
There may be lots of views and some that are divided, but of course we bring these views together in the forum to look at how to grow more with less, with an eye to sustainability, to feed a growing world. And we did hear, as you said, from Mike Massimino, who did talk about it's all about the mission. It's all about the fact that if we have a common purpose and we find the good things, that we can find solutions, and solutions that may be scalable. So you leave with less fear and more optimism perhaps, Shari?
Well, and I am by nature an optimist. As a farmer, you have to be. I'm also an entrepreneur, and as leader of Farm Foundation, I need to be as well. But having just listened to a lot of the farmers in the US, I think that's where that fear came from. But I think we all need to find that optimism because we have to move forward to feed the world and provide the fiber and fuel for the world. So I am leaving with more optimism from the European perspective and continuing to try to cultivate that in the US as well as through our GIFP collaboration.
Well, good luck with it all, and thank you very much for being here today.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.